to performing the code operations in MySQL database. Next one, Django provides a forms concept. Instead of creating an HTML form, simply Django provides forms concept. Okay, forms can be categorized into two types, a normal form and a model form. Okay, if you want to declare any class as a form class, our class is extending by form class. Our class is extending by form class of forms module. Next one, if you want to declare any class as a model form, simply our class is extending by model form. Simply our class is extending by model form. Okay, what is the difference between form and model form? Normal form is a class that is not related to any database. If you want to connect the database with the form, our form is associated with any model. Okay, that type of form we are calling as a model form. First, I'm explaining one form example. After that, I'm explaining model form examples. Create a Django project. Create a Django project. Before that one, okay, create a Django project to implement the Django forms. Django forms. Step number one, to create a Django project. Okay, Django forms. This is the theory related to forms, normal form and model form. Okay, create a Django project to implement the Django normal forms. Normal forms. Okay, Django hyphen. First, we need to activate our environment. myvenv slash script slash activate. Next one, Django hyphen admin start project. My project name is 18. To create a Django project. Step number 2, go to project location. Go to project location and to create an application in our project. To create an application in our project. Simply go to my project cd space project 18 and python space manage.py start app 18. Step number 3, go to project location. Go to project location and to install to install our application to install our application in the settings.py file of the project. Open the settings.py file. Open the settings.py file. Okay, open the project folder and settings.py file. Inside the settings.py file, we are adding your application. My application is app 18. Okay, next step number 3 or step number 4. Okay, step number 4. Now observing very clearly, to create a templates folder and to set the path for our templates in the settings.py file of the settings.py file of the project. Open the settings.py file. Open the settings.py file. Now observing very clearly, here I am creating a one folder. Folder name is templates, and go to the settings.py file. Under the template section, we are adding our project base dir slash our folder name is templates. Our folder name is templates. Okay, now where we are creating a forms in the forms.py file. In the forms.py file of the application. Basically, in the application folder, we are not getting the forms.py file. We need to create the manually. We need to create the manually. Okay, where it is created in the application folder. In the application folder. Now simply observing very clearly step number 5 to create a forms in the forms.py file of the application. Forms.py file. Now simply in the application I am creating a file forms.py. Okay, from Django dot forms import form import next I want to create a class my form that is extending by form class. In the form I am creating some fields. First name equal to simply I want to use forms like as a Django import forms. Simply here we are using now forms dot char field label equal to enter your first name max underscore length equal to last name equal to forms dot char field label equal to enter your last name max underscore length equal to 30 characters email equal to forms dot email field email field label equal to enter our email. Enter your email. Now here help underscore text equal to email contains yet character yet character, and this field is required. Okay, now simply observing very clearly, I am creating a views from forms import from dot forms. Dot means within the current directory. Import my form. My class name is my form. Here def welcome request my form object I am created form underscore object equal to my form class instance I am created, return render. Okay, now observing very clearly, if request dot method or okay, just wait, form object I am created. Okay, request dot post. If it is a post, form object is created. Form object is created. If form underscore object dot is save or is valid. Now form underscore object dot save return render request comma result dot html. Otherwise simply return render request comma input dot html. Now here form object we are assigning form object we are assigning. Now request.input.html. Now coming to here, I am creating one HTML file, input.html, doc type HTML. Next one, head section and the body section. Here I am creating a form. Okay, here already we are creating form object. Okay, simply here we can specify the form as underscore paragraph, as underscore paragraph. Next one, input type, input type equal to submit, value equal to submit. Next one, action equal to result, action equal to result, and the method equal to post, method equal to post, method equal to post. Now I want to configure the URL patterns. From app 18 import views. Here path equal to input views dot welcome function I am using. Just observing. Okay, Python space manage.py migrations Python space manage.py migrate. Here email is required, syntax opposition argument followed, argument here required equal to true, Python space manage.py run server. Our request URL is in my form object. No attribute is valid. Is underscore valid. Okay. This field is required. This field is required. Simply meaningfully input. Here request object I am created. Form, my form object I am creating. My form is a class name. Next one, here we can call this HTML file. Next one, display RDF result request form underscore object equal to my form request dot post. Now form object we are created. If form underscore object dot validate is valid, form underscore object dot save return render request comma result.html form here form object. Now here that result related HTML file I am created. Result.html Okay, now I'm taken as a first name form dot f name. Last name form dot l name email form dot email. The forms.py file in the urls.py file re underscore path result views dot re underscore path. No attribute welcome. Here that is a input. Okay. CSRF verification is missing. Whenever we are using in the form post method we are using, at that time we are writing the CSRF token tag. My attribute save. Okay. In the normal form object there is no save. Okay, that is a model form having. Okay, later I'm explaining that model form. Here form object is not defined, where here form object form underscore object. Okay, again we will, that is a form object. Now again we will get this form format. Okay, this value we are getting. How to get that value? Simply that is a value. Here result.html fname dot value, last name dot value, and the email dot value. Now simply here okay, first name, last name and email ID. I want to display one by one simply by using break tag. Simply by using break tag. Now simply here that is the normal form example. Are you clear to creating a normal form? We are not creating any HTML form. Just we are creating a one form class. Okay, different fields are there. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Okay, this is a forms.py file. Step number 6 to create a views in the views.py file of the application. Views.py file. Before that one, HTML files, input.html file, next one result.html, to configure the URL patterns for our views in the urls.py file of the project. Open the urls.py file. Okay, step number 8 to apply the migrations. Python space manage.py migrate. Step number 9 to start the server. Python space manage.py run server. Step number 10 to send the request to the server http://127.0.1.800/in. This is the normal form example. Next one, create a Django project with the Django model forms. Create a Django project to implement the Django model forms. Django model forms means our form is associated with the models. That's why first we need to create a models. Step number 1, to create a Django project. Django hyphen admin start project 19. Step number 2, go to project location and to create an application in the project location cd space project python space manage.py start app 19. Step number 3, next one, to install our application in the settings.py file of the project. Settings.py file. I'm open my project, new project. Open the settings.py file. Go to application settings. App 19. Step number 4, to create a database in MySQL server. Now here I'm open the MySQL command line client. Now I'm logging to my MySQL server. Create database project 19 db. Now here I'm creating a project. Step number 5, before that one, to install. Step number 4, to install MySQL server, MySQL database server related related Python Django database API. Simply here pip space install space MySQL client. Step number 6, to configure the database settings in the settings.py file of the project. Open the settings.py file, go to the database settings. Here our database engine is backend engine is MySQL. Next, base directory. Here database name. What is the database name? Simply project 19 DB. Next one, user. Next one, user. Root. Password. Root. Next one, host. Localhost. Port. 3306. This is the database settings. Are you clear up to now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Next, another step number 7, to define a models in the models.py file of the application folder. In the models.py file, I am defining a model. Open the app folder, open the models.py file. Here I am defining a model class employee. Okay, my class is extending by model class. Employee ID, models dot integer field primary underscore key equal to true. Primary key equal to true. Ename models dot char field max underscore length equal to 30. Employee salary equal to models dot decimal field max underscore digits equal to 6 after decimal point decimal underscore places equal to 2. Department number equal to models dot integer field okay. Now this is a model. I want to check any errors in my model. How to check that one? Simply python space manage.py check. Step number 8 to check the errors in our models. Simply this command we are using. Step number 9 to create a models. That means to apply the make migrations. To apply the make migrations. Simply here manage.py make migrations. Make migrations. Step number 10 create a table. That means to apply the migrate python space manage.py migrate. Step number 11 before that one simply observing very clearly use my database use project 19db show tables. Show tables. Are you clear up to now?
Yes.
No. Okay, here in the database level tables are generated. This is our table name. Next one, to create a templates. Before that one, to create a model forms in the forms.py file of the application. Simply open the forms.py file. Basically, in our application folder, the forms.py file is not generated. First, we need to create a forms.py file. Simply, my file name is forms.py. Okay, we are creating a the normal form or model form within the forms.py file only. From Django, import model name is forms. I want to create a model form. How to create a model form? Our form is associated with the model. Okay, that's why first we need to import model here from dot models. Import our model name is employee class. Here employee form, simply forms dot model form. Okay, employee form forms dot model form. Now I want to create a form class. Okay, here one more shortcut is available. Instead of writing the manual field, simply we are creating a meta class. Simply here class name meta. Okay, meta class. In that meta class, which model we want to related, models equal to model name. Models equal to our model name. What is our model name? Employee fields. Fields equal to underscore all. Underscore all means all the fields. Model and fields. Model name and field name. Fields equal to underscore all means all the fields. Or what are the fields we want to require? Simply we can take the list format. Simply we can take the list format also. Now I am creating a form class. Now simply I am creating a templates. Okay, here I am creating one folder. That folder name is templates. Go to settings.py file. Under the template section, here base dir slash templates. Okay, base dir slash templates. Okay, now in the template section, one HTML file. Okay, here I'm adding the templates. Next, go to application. Under the views, here I am creating one view, def input request. Here I want to create a form class object. That's why from dot forms import employee form. Now here form object I am created. Form object equal to employee form return render render request comma input.html and the form form which one form object I am assigning. Now in the templates, one HTML file I am created, input.html. Here doc type and the HTML 80 section, title employee input form in the body section field set I'm using legend input form. Now I'm creating form form dot as underscore p input type equal to submit and the value equal to submit ampersand emsp and ampersand emsp. I am creating one more button input type equal to reset and the value equal to reset. Now I am creating one form. Now here I am creating urls.py file from app 19 import views. Here path input slash the views model input function I want to execute it. Simply python space manage.py run server. Now I want to try to send the request to the server. Now form. Whenever we are enter the data, I want to store the data into DB level. Simply here in the input.html form action equal to insert method equal to post csrf underscore token csrf underscore token. Now coming to views def insert, insert, request or insertion. We can take any that just that is a function name. Insertion, request, form underscore object equal to employee form, employee form, request dot post. Now if form underscore object dot is underscore valid, form underscore object dot save, return, render, request, insert underscore result dot html dot html. Okay, okay, form object, e form, e form, simply form object, form underscore object. Now here I want to create one HTML file, insert result. Now simply here dot type and HTML head section, title, insertion, result, insertion result, in the body section, in the body section, e form dot e form dot, okay, field name, eid dot value, employee here, employee name, he name or id is inserted, employee 101 inserted successfully. This message I want to print it. Now coming to URLs, re underscore path, re underscore path, insert the views dot insertion. This function I want to execute it. Here return render request e form object. The views.py file return render Okay, send the request. Employee ID, employee name, department number, submit. Employee 1 is inserted successfully. Coming to the database, select star from app 19 underscore employee. Now employee is inserted. Okay, employee 101 is inserted successfully. Okay, forms.py file. Okay, this is a forms.py file. Okay, next one, step number 12, to create a templates folder and to set the path for our templates in the settings.py file of the project. Now settings.py file. Okay, next one, step number 13, create a views in the views.py file of the application. Before that one, input.html, insert underscore result.html, next one, to configure the URL patterns for our views in the urls.py file of the project. Step number 15, to start the server. Simply python space manage.py run server. Step number 16 to start send the request to the server. HTTP colon slash slash 127.0.1 slash in. Okay, this is a working with Django forms, normal forms and model forms. Are you clear today's session? Are you clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Next we're discussing about model relationship like as a one to one, one to many, many to many. After that one, how to adding the static files like as a CSS files and the JavaScript files, how to including in our templates. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.